Time for Night Court. A dispute over a Bible display at a VA hospital in New Hampshire is now a federal case. The Military Religious Freedom Foundation has filed a lawsuit against the director of the Manchester VA Medical Center, seeking the removal of that Bible from a POW MIA table inside the hospital. All right, it's time to take sides with attorneys Brian Rotella and Brian Claypool. Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Hi, Shannon.
Okay,
Hi, Shannon.
I want to start with Exhibit A. This is an attorney who's representing the group that wants to keep the Bible in the hospital. Here's what he says.
It was donated by a 95-year-old World War II POW to the Northeast POW MIA network. They put up the display. The VA policies and regulations allow groups like our clients to put up displays like these. And if the VA were to give in to these demands by this radical outside group, right, then we would say that violates our clients' free speech rights.
All right, Brian Claypool, what is the argument against it?
Hey, Shannon, look, 2 years ago, my beloved Pittsburgh Steelers were deprived of playing in the Super Bowl because of a call by a referee against the New England Patriots at the end of the game. I was so upset, but there was a rule in place that I didn't like, and I thought the rule was unfair. Same thing applies here. The rule book is the First Amendment. The Establishment Clause says the government cannot give preference to one religion over another, and more important, the government can't give preference to religion over non-religion. And here, a Bible, unfortunately, is an instrument of faith. It's an instrument of religion, and it's being used to advance the religion, the Christian faith. I happen to be a Christian, but unfortunately, there is a rule, and it's breaking the rule.
Okay, Brian Rotella. We go to Exhibit B. This is part of the lawsuit now filed against the director of the VA hospital. It says we would all be outraged if the hospital only provided care to Christians or denied care to non-believers or those who worship their God in other ways. The placement of a Christian Bible on this sacred table is just as objectionable.
Well, Shannon, it's really hard for me to go against another Brian. Now, Brian doesn't spell it with a Y, and that's important to me. But what I'm going to tell you is this, I'm fired up about this tonight, Shannon, for this reason. This was a World War II veteran who donated his Bible. Why? For the VA, the Veterans Administration in New Hampshire, to display on behalf of those who have been missing in action or POWs. It's like a historical artifact. And a little bit of pushback on Brian. Really what's at issue here is the Establishment Clause, and is what the VA doing, is it have some type of purpose or effect to support or endorse religion? It's a political artifact. The question I'd ask is what's next? Are we going to go back and watch old MASH reruns, take Father Mulcahy out with CGI, and have a safe space?
Brian Claypool, what do you think about that idea?
Look, at the end of the day, the law is imperfect. You don't shoot the messenger. The law is the law. There's a couple cases, Shannon, that dealt with this in the U.S. Supreme Court. There was one in Kentucky. 2 counties in Kentucky had the 10 commandments in courthouses. The U.S. Supreme Court said you can't do that. So, because there was no historical connection between the 10 commandments and the courthouses. So, you know, I hear what Brian's saying. I'd like to see it change, but that is the law of the land.
All right, Brian Rotella, final argument from you, and then we put it to the jury.
No, I just got to say, we got to look at who's bringing the lawsuit. The gentleman who's bringing these lawsuits, he's got a business where he does this. It looks to me like it's an industry to bring lawsuits. Ultimately, who's hurt here? That World War II veteran. I think that's wrong. I think ultimately the purpose and effect wasn't in any way to endorse religion. It's an artifact, something that we should cherish in American history.
All right, Brian Rotella, Brian Claypool, you have made your arguments. Thank you, gentlemen, for your legal expertise tonight. Folks at home, you're the jury now, so tweet us at Fox News Night or at Shannon Bream to let us know what you think and how you'd vote in this case. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you, Shannon.
You bet. Thank you, Shannon.